horrible way to start that video. I apologize to everybody. I think my editor thought that that joke was going to land, but it didn't. But you know what will land? Is Naomi and Bianca on their face when Jade Cargill returns at the Royal Rumble and takes them out for attacking her. Spoiler alert, that's one moment that I think will be happening at the Women's Rumble. So we are going to be starting here with the Women's Rumble. I did ask Twitter on who they think is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble, and these are the top choices according to Twitter. First one on the list, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan is happening January 6th. So let's say she does get the title. She's not going to be a part of the Royal Rumble. Let's say she does not get the title. If Nia Jax is still champion, I don't really see Rhea going after her. And if Liv Morgan is still champion, I see Rhea going after Liv Morgan again. And do we need to see that again? No, I don't want to see that. Next up on the list here, we have Becky Lynch. Now, Becky Lynch has every reason to go after Nia Jax, to go after Liv Morgan. If they are still champions by WrestleMania, I can see her going against either. I don't see Becky Lynch winning if it's going to be Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. We have seen these matches before. I can only see it if they have plans for either one to lose at the Elimination Chamber. Next up on the list here, we have Charlotte. Now, yes, Charlotte comes back and she wins gold and she gets all the title opportunities, but damn, please don't do this. Please don't do this, okay? Look, Charlotte Flair, I am such a Charlotte Flair defender and stan. I think she's scheduled to be there for January 6th, but if she doesn't show up January 6th and she returns at the Rumble and she is the Royal Rumble winner, come on, Triple H, come on, man. You're feeding the trolls at that point. Make her look strong, but leave that opportunity for somebody else. That opportunity being Io Sky. Io Sky, after that match with Lyra, I think the entirety of the IWC just had like a light bulb click and say, oh, she's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I was the same way. I was not upset that she lost. I kind of figured she wasn't going to be the first ever IC Women's Champion. I do think she's going to be the Women's Royal Rumble winner. She's so cool with everything she does. I love how over she is with the fans. I love how much Triple H has so much stock behind her. She has charisma like deep inside her. Everything she does is cool. Her entrance is cool. The way she wrestles is cool. The way she hypes up the fans is cool. Even when she talks, and yes, she has an accent, but you can still understand what she says. Even with an accent, her delivery is so good and you're just so hyped whenever she speaks. 2024 Royal Rumble winner is Io Sky. Now let's talk about surprises and moments. I do see Alexa Bliss returning. Maybe a Sol Ruka joining the Royal Rumble because Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan, they're both like the female Will Ospreay, so I see them going in and doing the little tricksy. Look, every year I think that AJ Lee is going to return. Ever since they announced the Women's Royal Rumble, I thought she was going to return, and every year I hold my breath because I feel like she's going to return. And then when Evolution came out, I was like, there's no shot they're going to have an all-women's pay-per-view and not have AJ Lee be a part of that, and she hasn't been a part of it. But now that CM Punk has been there for over a year, and it's more solidified that he is going to stay in the WWE, and I said this during my What I Want in Pro Wrestling in 2025 video. By the way, if you haven't already checked that one out, check it out. It's a good one. I said when they released the CM Punk footage of his return and Bayley hugged CM Punk and she said, get her in here. And CM Punk said, you keep doing what you're doing and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing and I'll try my best to bring her back. That was enough for me. I'll be rocking my AJ Lee shirt come the Rumble. Ow. She will be returning as either number 27, 28, 29. She might be returning as number 30, but I feel like they might save that coveted spot for a Charlotte Flair, for a Becky Lynch. But the reason why I see her coming later in the Rumble is because Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade will be early entrants to the Royal Rumble, and if it's not Cora Jade, then for sure Roxanne Perez will be at the Royal Rumble, and her and AJ Lee will have this cute little standoff, and the crowd will lose their shit. Holy shit! Holy shit! Because we all know that Roxanne Perez is this era's version of AJ Lee. After they face off, I do see them having a moment where they sort of work together and take down the other women. And then when it comes to the elimination of AJ Lee, I think Roxanne Perez is going to eliminate AJ Lee and smile like a little menace that she is. I think that'll be great storytelling. Now, moving on to the Men's Rumble. It's the same thing. I asked Twitter, and these are their top choices. Cena, Orton, Punk, Sammy, and Drew McIntyre. Sammy versus Cody Rhodes isn't necessarily the Mania match that I see happening. And if he goes against Gunther, I do see him possibly winning the title since he did win the IC title when him and Gunther went against each other. But again, I don't necessarily see that as Mania matches for the title. Next up on the list is Randy Orton. Now, for the longest, I thought Randy Orton was going to win the Royal Rumble. But now, considering the stories that are being put into fruition I don't see Randy Orton winning anymore. Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes do have a match that night. I do see Kevin Owens just continuing being a jerk and maybe taking him out of the Rumble. And I know that Randy Orton has been eyeing that belt, but now things have shifted. I sort of see Randy Orton aligning with Cody Rhodes a lot more, where he's not going to go after the title. I think his main mission right now is just getting revenge on Kevin Owens. Next up on the list here, we have John Cena. Now, John Cena, man, if you did not see the 2025 leaked Royal Rumble sheet, it happens every year. Charlotte Flair and John Cena were the winners. John Cena would be probably the best guess when it comes to the Royal Rumble winner. He did say that he's not going to take opportunities away and he's going to be a worker. I don't think being the Royal Rumble winner is necessarily going to take opportunities away from the current talent right now, just because we do have Elimination Chamber and I can see any of these top men winning that. We could see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. We could see John Cena versus Gunther. Now, the only one that I'm really scared of is John Cena versus Gunther, because if he's talking about not taking opportunities from other talent, I see John Cena winning over Gunther. We could see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, and that is definitely a Mania match. We got the old face of the company versus the new face of the company, and anything to keep us away from Roman versus Cody 3, I'm all for. Cena definitely is a good contender, and I really want to make him as my pick, and I probably should, but let's go on to the next person. We got CM Punk. CM Punk was supposed to win last year's Rumble, according to sources. So Cody Rhodes was the back-to-back Royal Rumble winner, and then we saw one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time because of that. So do I think CM Punk is going to get this? CM Punk is another contender of mine. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. CM Punk versus Gunther, and that's just saying if they're still the champions. Cody Rhodes, I mean, we kind of figured that he will be the champion. And currently, right now, he is feuding with Seth Rollins. I do see Punk getting a win over Seth Rollins. We got January 6th, and then we got the Royal Rumble. I do see that moment where Seth Rollins is in the ring, and then CM Punk comes out as the next entrant, and they're just staring at each other, and they go at it again. I do see that happening. So let's say if CM Punk does win, I'm all for a CM Punk headlining WrestleMania, because that's what I need from his return. That's why he left in the first place, amongst other things as well. CM Punk versus Gunther is going to be a very bloody and brutal match. I don't see CM Punk going after Gunther, though. I see him going after the main title. I see him going after Cody Rhodes. Now, we do have that lingering favor. Now, I've always said that the favor is to headline WrestleMania, possibly have a match between him versus Roman. Roman Reigns usually headlines WrestleMania. You know, it doesn't even matter if he's champion or not. He's usually headlining WrestleMania. So I considered that, but now I'm considering that maybe the favor is if CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, that he will go after Cody Rhodes. And if anybody tries to interfere during that match, Roman Reigns has to come out and help with the interference. That could be Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, the Bloodline. Roman Reigns has to come out and help him. Right after Randy Orton, CM Punk was always my next guess as well. And then I started leaning on Cena. But finally, I think we're coming towards the person that I think is going to win the men's Royal Rumble. And that's Drew McIntyre. He has been screwed over and over again. 2025 is Drew McIntyre's year. And I understand 2024 was Drew McIntyre's year because he was one of the top stars of 2024. But you know what I mean. I mean kayfabe wise. He's been screwed all of 2024 by these damn jabronis always costing him the damn match. It's really because he just runs his damn mouth and he should just focus on like his opponent instead of showboating and running his damn mouth. Freaking Drew McIntyre, man. But I think it's going to be a curveball and Drew McIntyre is going to win because we are thinking John Cena's winning, Punk is winning, Randy Orton is winning. Now, I'll cook this up for you. Say Drew McIntyre wins the men's Royal Rumble. He could go after Gunther. He could go after Cody Rhodes. Can you imagine the back and forth interaction with Gunther and Drew McIntyre, two of the biggest menaces on the mic? They don't give a crap about what they say. Drew McIntyre on Twitter is a whole different menace. So I am for the agenda of Drew McIntyre versus Gunther at Mania because damn, that build up towards Mania, all the crap talking, all of the menace back and forth that these two individuals will have, Menace versus Menace, give it to me for WrestleMania. Or we can have the other option, him versus Cody Rhodes. We compare Cody Rhodes as Homelander. We sort of see the Homelander coming out. We sort of see that menacing side of Cody Rhodes coming out. Who could possibly be the most perfect individual to bring out the menace side of Cody Rhodes? That's Drew McIntyre. I could see Drew McIntyre dragging this man through Twitter, dragging him through every single promo. I could see him attacking and costing every single match. I could see this man be the one to bring out Homelander in Cody Rhodes. We are talking about WrestleMania, and I could see that shift happen there. I could see him going into the voices in his head and finally becoming that tweener that we all want from good boy Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre is the perfect person to bring the menace out of Cody Rhodes. So there you have it. Drew McIntyre will be the 2025 Royal Rumble winner according to Minnie. As far as NXT superstars that I see showing up, I see Trick Williams showing up. I see Oba Femi showing up. As far as returning stars go, I do see Ilya coming back from injury because we all know that man is a beast. I mean, he's on Twitter doing all sorts of workouts. I feel like his comeback to a return is going to be like a John Cena, like a Charlotte Flair. It's going to be extremely quick, so I see him returning at the Royal Rumble. I also do see Big E returning at the Royal Rumble, and Kofi and Xavier are already in there, and they both turn around. I'm shocked that he's making his in-ring return, and I see the crowd going nuts, and then I see Big E taking both of the men out the Royal Rumble. I also do see Wade, but not for long. I see him as a surprise because he has some sort of discrepancy between Drew McIntyre. Him and Drew McIntyre have sort of butt heads. Drew McIntyre was staring at Wade in a very menacing way. I see Wade Barrett sort of making a comeback there. Over on TNA, I do see Joe Hendry showing up. I also see Nick Nemeth showing up because he is the current TNA champion, which would be cool but awkward because WWE released him and then he's coming back for a Royal Rumble appearance because now TNA and WWE have a partnership. So that could be a yes or a no. I think it's really just according to Nick Nemeth at that point. As far as contracts go, I don't know when these individuals' contracts ended, but I do see Miro showing up. Hopefully we see Rey Fenix. We see the Lucha Bros there. We do know that Penta will be making his debut soon. I also see Keith Lee making a return, and according to sources, his contract ended in 2024 with AEW. The last I heard of Keith Lee was that he was injured. If he is clear for action, I can see him being at the Royal Rumble. And that's it for my Royal Rumble predictions. Of course, we are 1 month away, so I will be redoing this video maybe in about 3 weeks, a week before the Royal Rumble. I may or may not be there live for the Royal Rumble. I will be wearing my AJ Lee shirt regardless if I'm here or there. Let me know down below your predictions for this year's Royal Rumble. Bye!